We're heading back to the Blue Bungalow today to finish up the inside with the living room. Alright, so we left off in the bedroom, which is... I'm still not sure how I feel about it. I'll just put it that way. It's a lot, but at the same time, the kind of dark look of it all would be very comfortable to sleep in. I'm feeling much better since making that decision to change the floor in here. The whole house is actually looking rather dark. Quite the contrast to the last couple of houses that I've done. I think I want to keep this furniture, but I want to change it up a little bit. My thought process is something in a similar color, but with maybe a different pattern. I think the patterns are making the edges of this a lot more stark, and I don't know that I like that. We also, I think, want something maybe... Ooh, I kind of like how that looks, but also looks a little bit stained. It's kind of a mixed feelings on that one. There's certain patterns that I feel like I go back to continuously. I like this pattern. I like this one. I like this. The stars are fun. I feel like we need to keep it kind of classic because the whole house feels a bit classic, a bit grandma. I'm not sure that we want to go monkeys. I'm thinking no on the monkeys. I don't mind this if we were to make the background green. We could give that a try. Let's see. Nope, I was wrong. I hate it. But we now have the green kind of in place. I don't know if I want that shade of green though. I'm thinking more of a warm green. I don't know where I want to go with this. That's the issue. This is the reason why this room was kind of held off to last, is I didn't know what I wanted to do with it. I kind of like the polka dots. Is it over the top? Definitely, but I'm kind of liking it. The stripes, I think part of this is the pattern sizing. If we could adjust the pattern or change the angles of these patterns in some way, that would significantly change what patterns I would use. Like the stripes here. The fact that the stripes don't line up down the front versus the seat kind of drives me crazy a little bit. These patterns, the stripes are nice but too wide for the size of the piece. So if I could adjust those stripe width, and again, the stripes don't line up top two sides. That's kind of annoying. The polka dot is enough of a chaotic kind of pattern that it doesn't need to line up because it just kind of works how it is anyway. But yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm starting to think what I want to do is more of a solid color here and then work with some kind of pattern on the walls. So if we copy these styles over like so, and then maybe we put the pattern on the walls instead. I feel like we could make that work. We've done a bit of patterning in other places here, so it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. There's more patterns available for us as a surface finish, so we might have a little bit more to work with here. I don't know how I feel about that, but I kind of think it might work if we do some of the green that we've used. Okay, that's kind of just patterning a little bit there. Maybe we want something that kind of contrasts with the green a little bit. I wouldn't consider that yellow, to be honest. I don't want to bring the red in here. I feel like we still want green, but we don't want the entire place to just be lost in the green. Let's see. Maybe if we bring the colors in, I have to just kind of see it on the wall. I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I gotta close you. I need a flat bit of wall where I can actually see what's going on. Okay, maybe there. I don't know that I like that. This is always the toughest part for me, and I know it's kind of a little, oops, not, it's a little obnoxious the way that I have to see it sometimes, but it's just the easiest for me to kind of visualize. I really was feeling stripes in this room for some reason, but if only I could... Okay, I can rotate the stripes. Okay. And then maybe bring in that green. It's that rich green, but I don't know that I want the second color to be stark white. I think we need something a little more neutral. Probably in the green realm. Probably help us if we actually put it kind of behind the furniture so we can see what it looks like. And I don't think that's the worst thing I've ever created. I mean, there's been some doozies, so I kind of want to see if I can put like a wainscoting down, something on the lower half to maybe break it up. I don't know. I do wish I didn't have all this furniture in the way, so I need to move things around either way. The issue with thinking outside of my usual personal preferences is that I'm questioning my level of taste so much when I do stuff like this. It's so bad. I don't know. I don't think I like it, but yet I do. I don't know how to feel about that. Alright, so I wanted to look at some wood panels, and obviously it would be in the beach. I need to rotate that, I think, this way. And I want to see about placing some about that height, I think. And then we would want to put probably something rotated in the other direction to go on the upper part of it. But I already feel like that looks much better. And it also allows for us to deal with this. The striping, the way it fills in on the windowsills and everything is kind of unfortunate. It is very blended in with everything being this beech wood, but I kind of like that. It's giving almost a craftsman type vibe to it for me. Okay, the stripes are growing on me. Now I need to figure out the best way to deal with... I wonder if I can change the style of these in order to flip the rotation the other way. Okay, and then maybe be able to just put a single... Now, do I want it... I want it here? Yeah, I think that works. I don't know if it's great that it's exactly the height of the fireplace, and the fireplace is the exact color, but this kind of monotone thing, the single wood texture throughout, I'm liking that just, you know, from a kind of coordinated aesthetic kind of viewpoint, I guess. As someone who kind of likes things to match, kind of to an OCD level, it satisfies that a bit. I think I'm liking this. Yeah, forgive me. Alright, after much work, we got the curtains sort of sorted out. I can't seem to find curtains that actually stretch the whole width of these larger spaces. I could have done one curtain over here, but I wanted it to kind of match the effect over there. Not loving the curtain situation in this game at all. Not a fan. I do need to get a rug, I think, to bring some color to the floor and a little contrast to everything, because it is very monotone in here, for sure. I admit that. I mean, it is kind of what I was going for on one hand, but Yeah, it's a lot. I think some kind of plant table over here would be nice, and maybe some kind of tables in general would be great, or a like something to set things on the footstool would also be a possibility. I want to try to bring a little bit of color, but I don't want it to be too much of a contrast to everything. So even though it's tempting to go something like that, I think it's too stark and stands out too much. Something like this is kind of nice. Some of the red tones that are already in the room. It does still kind of blend a bit, but I wanted to throw some plants on top of it. There are not a lot of great options, in my opinion, for the just tables in general. And as I said, curtains. There's a few things that could definitely use some fleshing out, I guess. Let's see. I trying to get some different looks here. But I want maybe tiny. I'm hoping, yeah, we could probably make that work. I'm hoping to get a little variety of plants here, a little variety in textures and heights. This is actually hilarious, and we need to find a home for you here. Okay, I think we'll put you here. I'll move you back a little bit. And then I'll probably move you back as well. And then another smaller thing in the front. Yeah, I feel like this meets the same general idea. And we've kind of got like a natural tones thing going on here. Now we need to figure out the plants that go inside of it. Something ornamental for sure. In the big one, I think we want something kind of mid-size, perhaps. I want it to look like it's not that big. I don't really want short, but yeah, I wouldn't have considered that short, but I do like the sizing of that. Okay, and then I guess tiny is the way we're going here for the other ones. Maybe a little jade plant in here. I think we could support something a bit bigger here. The poinsettia is really pretty. There we go. Okay. I do struggle getting things properly into these sometimes. Let's see. Can we get something like that into you? No, that's not gonna work. I think I want some flowers, but I'm just trying to figure out what is going to look like it belongs. I think we might need to go more into this range and do... I don't think we can fit more than one of these in there. Are you like tiny, tiny? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, I love the idea of you, but it's not so great to actually use you. Yeah, that's not too bad. These, I feel like maybe we swap these. Maybe this plant is just starting to grow. Okay, so we'll get you up into here. Oh my goodness, I can't get... I might have to jump up on the couch so I can see what I'm doing. I think I entirely missed the planter. There we go. Alright, so a little bit of color other than green and beech wood brought into here. Okay. I wonder if we have a tray. I think this one was kind of what I was thinking of. And I kind of want to copy the style from this to kind of maybe pick up some of that pink color. So we'll transfer you there. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of contrast. And then we need some kind of decorations. It would be tempting to put candles or something there, but I know in reality that would be a bit dangerous. Okay, how about an inexplicably tiny book? It's very thick, but small. And then I really keep going back to this candle idea. I don't know why. I kind of like the idea. Maybe something that's a little more protected. These are cute, but I don't think that's what I want. That feels the green again, but I kind of like the idea. A candle next to a book on a wooden tray on top of a fabric ottoman. It all seems like a really good idea, especially with all of the wood around here. I don't know, I like this egg. I have to put this egg in here someplace. It's so pretty. These eggs are awesome. Maybe you like eggs for some reason. I think I put one of these out in the kitchen. In the corner. Yep. I don't know what it... Maybe just like an egg obsession, you know? Maybe there's just egg love around here. It's a collection. Just lovingly displayed around the house in weird places. Okay, the sheep is way tinier than I thought it was. But I'm going to put you on top of there. I don't know what I want on the other side there. I'm really struggling to find like a proper, maybe just a tissue box. Nope, they don't fit. Actually, I just noticed this tray is off too. Maybe I just shift the candle over and the book over and we let that be. Because I'm just not finding what I'm looking for. Now, we definitely need some kind of rug. I kind of personally... I think the one with the tassely edges would probably be more fitting for this room. But I don't personally like how the tasseled edged ones tend to look. So I think I'm going to lean toward this. And I need to figure out... I mean, it's pretty nice. Like, being able to get a custom rug would be so nice. We just recently, like, purchased rugs for our home. And trying to find sizes that work specifically for your space is not easy. Now, I do kind of like the fuzziness of that. I don't know if I want... Ooh, do I kind of want to do that? Because I feel like it's kind of fun. Although that's a little too... Well, oh, that was kind of nice too. That is a lot. But I kind of like the idea of it. Okay, I think this is the route I want to go. I'm just trying to find a background that feels... Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a creamy background. I wanted some texture down here. There's clearly a love for plants that we're seeing a hint of. I would kind of like to get some more plants, I think, in the other rooms as well. I mean, we have a flower there. We've got... I thought I put a plant up on there, but just trying to bring a little more decor in. Okay, I felt like this would work. We have this here, and I think I actually want to copy the style of this and kind of paste it over that slightly different wood texture. There we go. Just, I feel like there's something here with kind of just strange decor. We get a spot for keys here. I wonder if we have an umbrella stand. I think a more classic looking one like this would be very fitting. And do we happen to be able to put an umbrella into it? That would be my next question. It's trying. There we go. Okay, I decided whoever lives here plays the guitar, so we got one of those for them. Okay, and I found this train set, and I'm kind of giving it all sort of different shades of green and connecting it here. Just a silly little decoration for up here. I put a little plushie on the couch. I just think he's cute. I want that little bit of quirkiness to show. I felt like we needed some sconces. I tried to basically match the colors that are already in here. And they're awful. But it's kind of just fitting this idea here of a place that is just a little bit awful and tacky, and I'm liking it for some reason. I don't know. I do still feel like I need something here. I keep thinking of it, and I can't figure out I'm guessing some kind of picture would be best. Oh, we could have a little fun with that quirky thing we've talked about. And give her a alligator painting for reasons. I want to make it kind of unusually large. It's got to fill this space. Just a little bit like that. There we go. So a giant alligator painting in this room because, you know, it needed its little moment of quirkiness because the walls were not enough. Alright, so yeah, this is it. This is the house. It's something. I will still do the outside. That is something that needs a bit of work yet, but I think, you know, however you may feel about things, this is the inside. I don't know if we've had a chance to really look at the outside in full daylight yet, but this is where we're going with it so far. I did agonize a bit over the material I was using on the outside here, but this is kind of what inspired everything looking so dark inside. I really just kind of felt a vibe of over-the-top dark. You can kind of see a bit of that already in the neighborhood. You know, the houses around here do tend to run a bit dark, so it worked. I also still need to figure out how to make use of these. I did kind of learn that we can't really change things. Well, if something is damaged, we can't really change it in that sense, but this one is not damaged. It just needs some paint and a change of, you know, the top or whatever, the seat. I need to get just some, you know, columns and such out here. I need to redo whatever we're doing for the steps here, or the walkway. Obviously landscaping, desperately in need of landscaping, and, you know, just general touch-ups. But we will save that for next time. Thank you so much for struggling along through this journey with me. Have an amazing day, and keep on being perfectly you.